This conference will now be recorded.
Oh, lovely, lovely it is, but I think hello, the audio of so many participants. Hello, Nandesh, you can go on with day two. Welcome to you all. We have about 33 participants, 30 meaning thereby roughly. So a good number. Please go ahead.
Good, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
I hope everybody is doing great.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
let's start the session.
have they received the presentation part, day one presentation?
So I will ask the team to send that to them.
Okay, perfect, Nandesh.
I think they okay.
Okay,
So today
yeah, please go ahead.
we will be discussing. Sure, sure. So everybody, please mute yourself. Thank you so much. So today, what we will be doing, we will be completing the yesterday's part that was left off. We'll try to cover that, and also we will be doing the Anaconda installation. So while I'm covering these topics, I will recommend you or I'll advise you to install Anaconda on your systems. Does everybody have Anaconda installed on their system? Please type yes or no. Okay, no problem. First of all, yeah, I'm sharing the link for the Anaconda. So you need to make sure, you need to check first of all the configuration of your system, that is it 64-bit or is it 32-bit? So what you have to do for that, you have to go to the control panel. Please everyone go to your control panel. Once you go to the control panel, you have to go to system settings. There is an option as system. Please type yes or no if you are able to follow me. So when you will click on system, you will see the system configuration setting. So I have a 32-bit operating system. The PC that I have right now with me is 32-bit. So you can also check if you have a 32-bit operating system or if you have a 64-bit operating system. So according to that, you can download the Anaconda, either 64-bit or either 32-bit. Okay, let's move back to the, because it's going to take a while, then you have to just follow the standard instruction that we do while installing any software. And if anybody face any problem, do let me know. Okay, so yesterday we've understood the theory of linear regression. How does the linear regression model works? So today we will do the practical implementation on the Jupyter. So if you have yesterday's notebook, what you can do, you can go to tryjupyter.org and then you can click on classic Jupyter, try classic notebook, and it will take some time. to open, and then you can follow the same step. You can upload the file, the clean CSV file up here, and also you can upload the yesterday notebook that we left off. You can go up here. This is the section that you will see, and you can upload the file, the clean CSV. Yeah, this was the file, I guess, clean CSV file and the complete regression. These two files you need to upload, and then you can start working on them. Could not get the files of yesterday. You haven't got the file. Okay, I'll share the link with you again. But I have shared the link for yesterday's file. I mean, let me see. Google. This is the clean CSV file that I was talking about. I will share the link and you can download this file. So what you need to do, you need to go to the file section. Then you need to go to the downloads. You need to download this file as XLSX. Or you can download it as CSV as well. Then you need to upload this file into the binder. So today we will be using another library, which is scikit-learn. So this is the library that we have for applying all sort of machine learning models. Just give me a second. Hold on. Okay. So all sort of machine learning models are available in the scikit-learn library. So we will be just importing our model, the linear regression model, from the scikit-learn library. So you can see we are importing the linear model and importing linear regression from that. So I'll just run this line. Now, after we have run this, up till here we have completed yesterday. Now today what we are going to do, we are going to create a new object, which is regression. And we are going to store the linear regression that we have imported from the sklearn library, which is up here. We will be storing it in this object. Then we will be just doing the fit. So what does fit means? Basically, we are fitting the line on our points X and Y. So that means we are applying the algorithm with this single line. We are applying the algorithm on our points. So now the algorithm has been applied. Now, if you want to check the slope intercept, what is the slope intercept? So when I click on the regression dot coefficient underscore, I'll just hold on. I'll run it. And if I type regression dot coefficient underscore, it will give me the theta1 value. And if I type regression.intercept underscore, it will give me the intercept value. Now what we want to do, now that we have the intercept and we have the coefficient as well. So what does that mean? Okay, let's look into, hold on. So what does that mean? We have these two values that we were talking about yesterday. This was the intercept, which is this value, which is close to 7 million, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 7 million, close to 7 million. And we also have this value, which is the slope, which is 3.115. So that what does that mean now? Let's try to look it in the equational form, a functional form, you can say. Now, what does this mean is basically to predict the revenue of a film with 50 million budget. What will be the output for that? What will be the the revenue that we will get out of it? Please mute yourself. So what will be the revenue? So let's put the values that we have in the equational form. So this was the value for the intercept, and this was the value for the slope. So when I put these values into the equation, this is what I have. Now let's plot them. Now let's say if I have a budget of $50 million, what will be the revenue for it? What will be the predicted revenue could be for that? So according to our understanding that we had yesterday, it should be somewhere here. So let's try to figure this point. Let's try to understand what could be this value. So if I put all these value into the equational form, this is what I get. I get close to, if I invest $50 million in a movie, and I will get a revenue close to $148 million. So that's it. Now we have got this value, but we just want to make sure that how correct, how accurate this is. The predictions that we have, how accurate these are. But before we do that, let's try to fit the line that let's try to fit the prediction line on our previous points. So when I do this, when I write this code, which is the figure size, which is the scatter plot and the alpha value. Now what I'm doing here, if I remove this point, if I remove this line, if I comment it out, then you will have the same graph that you had yesterday. But now that you want to fit your line, the linear regression line, on this model or on this data point, on these different data points that you have, and want to check how accurate your model is predicting the values. So let's try to do that. So if I uncomment them and run it, so these are my predictions basically. These are the values that the model is predicting. So what does this mean? This means that if I have close to this value, if I have a $50 million budget, production budget, I will be getting output somewhere here, close to this point. If I have a budget close to this point, we will be getting the output somewhere here. If I have a budget this point, we'll be getting the output. And obviously there are a lot of errors that we can clearly see. It is not able to predict this value because it was an outlier. Now what does the outlier means? Most of the values that we have in our data points are in this from 0 to close to 2.5, but this value is out of our range, so our model could not predict this value. So we call the values which our model are not able to predict, or which are not coming into the bound range, that is called to be an outlier. So this is an outlier for a model, and just like these are also the outlier, that we are not able to predict these model. Now you can say that yes, we could change the model, we could do some manipulation with the line, we could have a a more complex line which will predict more values. So there are different aspects to that if we try to do it. We could have a line just like, we could have a line somewhere like this. Okay, hold on. Let me have a drawing pen. It's not working. Okay, let's say if we have a point, if we have a line, or if we have a curve, or if we have a function in this form, in this functional form, maybe a parabolic function, or maybe, you know, polynomial function. So that could be also the case, you know, but let's not talk about that right now. But these are the possibilities that we can take into account. Now, if we want to check, how well a model predicted the values, what we can do, we can do this regression dot score, and this will give you the R score value. What does this mean? The R score means how well your model is predicting the values. So we are getting the R score close to 54%. That means our model is predicting close to 50% values to be accurate. Rest of the value it's not able to predict. Now that's very good, that's very good accuracy, you know, if I talk about, because we only have one feature, and based upon that one feature we are predicting the output. So obviously for that the accuracy is good according to me. So this is the R score that we have predicted. So I talked about this earlier as well, that when we'll do the modeling, we also want to evaluate how well a model is performing. So goodness of fit, or R square, is the metrics that we are using, or is the parameter that we are using to find the accuracy of a model, how well a model is doing. So these were the workflow of a data science process. How does a data science project work? How do you approach any problem with the data scientific notation? How do you solve a particular problem? So we have seen all of that, and today we will be moving further and trying to understand the code bit more that we did yesterday. Because yesterday I just tried to give you the intuition, but today we will try to explain, you know, more in the Pythonic form. We'll try to understand more Pythonic form, that why this thing is happening and how this thing is happening and all the other stuff. Can you show me the cell that contain the code for the plotted graph? Yeah, sure. Give me a second. This was the code for it. So we have just used the predicted values. Now we have done regression dot predict x. Now usually what happens is that when we have a data set, we divide that data into two parts: training data and testing data. So what we do is we do a training on the training data, and then we try to predict the values based on the testing the testing set data set that we have. So we have different values in both the data set, so it gives us more understanding that how well a model is predicting. But in this case we haven't done that. We are just predicting the same values of x that a model have already seen. So if anybody have any questions, you can ask, or we can proceed with the installation of Anaconda, then we can start today's session. If anybody have any question, please ask. Okay, so everyone have downloaded Anaconda. Which one gives us theta? Theta 0. This is the coefficient. Theta 1 is this and theta 0 is this. Theta 0 you're talking about, right? Theta 0 is this value.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I'm
Hello.
asking the line that gives me the value of theta 0 and the line that gives me the value of theta 1 in the code.
These are the two lines, ma'am. The regression dot coefficient, this will give you the coefficient, and this will give you the intercept. So this is
Okay,
theta
okay,
1,
thank you.
the coefficient is the theta 1, and intercept is theta 0.
Okay, sir, thank you.
No problem. So you need to download this version 3.7. No, it does have 32-bit also. You can check. 64-bit and 32-bit is available. You need to check your system configuration first of all, whether your system supports 32-bit or whether it supports 64 bits. How can you do that? I guess everybody is clear with that, but let me try to give it again. Open your control panel and change the category to large icons. And then what you can do, you can go to system. When you go to system, it will tell you that whether your system is 32-bit or whether it is 64-bit. So as I have 32-bit operating system, so you might have maybe 64 or 32. So please download this Anaconda on your system. And if anybody face any difficulties, please let me know. So yeah, basically why we are downloading Anaconda, the reason is that because it has all the libraries. If you will download only Python, then you need to download different libraries. The library that we talked about, like sklearn, matplotlib, seaborn, pandas, numpy, you have to do them, you have to download them manually. So Anaconda, it's like it has all the packages, inbuilt packages. Basically it has close to 1000 packages for data science. So that is why we prefer Anaconda, so that you don't have to download the packages every time you try to work on a project. I think somebody have already shared the link for Anaconda. When you go to the website, it will show you download. And it will take some time for the installation. It will take some time, maybe in half an hour or maybe more than that. So I'll try to proceed further. Now, once you download the Anaconda, this is the window that you need to open. You need to search for Anaconda. Download it. Now you need to install it. Dr. Ashok, you need to install it. You need to do the installation. As I have already installed it, so I can't. Yes. Everybody, please do the installation of Anaconda on your system. So when we will install the Anaconda, we can just type out Anaconda Navigator. And then we can open the Anaconda Navigator. And then what we need to do, we need to click on Launch Jupyter Notebook. You just need to click up here. And you can also see it has other IDs as well. That is, you have RStudio. You can install RStudio if somebody is trying to learn R. You can also use VS Code for Python production code and all that, and also Spider. But initially what we prefer to use Jupyter because it's is easy and it's less complex. So this is the window that you will be getting once you download it, once you open the Jupyter Notebook. Now what you have to do, you have to click up here and then you have to create a new folder. So the new folder would be somewhere here. Now what you can do, You can rename this folder as ML projects or whatever the name you want to give it, as I have already done it, so I'll delete it. Now when you go to the ML project folder, you need to upload your all previous codes that we have performed, all the previous files that we have done. Now today we will be talking about intro to Python. So how many of you are familiar with Python? Please type yes if somebody is familiar, and please type no if you are not familiar with Python environment. No. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, great. So a little bit. Okay. Cool. So we'll try to understand different data types in Python today. The data types and all different things in Python that we can do. So I guess everybody is proceeding with the installation, and this sort of window you will get once you do the installation. And Jupyter we will be using. It's a kind of notebook. So why Jupyter? Why Anaconda? Because it has all the libraries that we need. I've already explained. Yeah, installation is taking time. It will take time. If you have Himanshu, if you already installed Anaconda, what you can do, you can open Jupyter. You can open Anaconda Navigator, and then you can create a new folder and you can upload all your file in that folder, so that it'll be easy for you, once you come back and you want to look at your code and the thing that you have done, so it'll be easy for you. So you can create a new folder. Cool. Okay. So the reason why we are using it, because it has lots of libraries and we don't have to download them. So what sort of library it does have? It does have a list of libraries. So let's try to look at them. How many libraries does it have? So these are the libraries that it already installed that come up with, Jupyter. When you download Jupyter, you can search for them. Let's say we want to search for pandas. Do we have pandas? So yes, we do have pandas in here. Let's say we want to search for, do we have NumPy on our system? Oh, hold on, NumPy. So we also have NumPy pre-installed. Otherwise what happen is that we have to go back to the command prompt, we have to set the virtual environment, then we have to do pip install NumPy or pip install pandas, pip install different libraries. We have to install them manually. So Jupyter removed this headache, for us. It reduces our work when we download Anaconda Navigator, because it has already pre-installed all these libraries that we need to work on a data science project. Okay, so let's move to the first thing that we will be trying to look at. Today's we will first of all we'll try to understand what is variable and why do we even need variable. So let's say you are a very good programmer and you have created a game just like this. So how, if you want to store the life of a player, how would you store it? You need to store it somewhere, right? If you want to store the score of a player, how many scores he have scored, how many points you have gathered. So you need some sort of memory location that you can refer these different values to. So variable is going to help you in this case. So variable, you can imagine a variable is just like a box where you can throw different values, you can store different values. So let's say I have a variable which is my age. So I store a value in this variable 32. Now I keep that 32. Now let's say if after 1 year I have to update the value, or maybe after some time in the game I have some process, some iteration with which the value is going to be changed. So how that is going to happen? So what is going to happen, it is going to dump that value and it is going to assign a new value 33 to that variable, to my age. So let's try to look that in the form of coding. Okay, now I have this variable. I have this variable as my age. So I can assign any value. Let's say I assign the value to be 25, right? Now, if I want to check the value, that what is the value of my age? So what I have to do, I just have to call that location now where I have stored these values. So I have stored my value in my age. So I need to call my age. So when I'll print my age, I will get the value for my age. Right? Now, if I, let's say, if I want to update my age, I'm getting older now and my age is now 26. So let's say if I update that, what will happen? Let's see what is the value coming out to be of my age. So it's coming out to be 28. Now let's imagine that if my age is 33 and if I'm able to print it out, it's 33. Now Python has dynamic assignments or dynamic typing, we call it, that you can assign different values to a variable. Okay, the same way that I have explained in the slide. If you have initially you have some values and after some time you can assign these values. So variable we all are familiar with if we have some maths background, and which I guess all of us have. So in variable always changes. It is not a constant value, it changes over time. So just like the same, in Python or in, sir, please share yesterday notebook. I have not received it. Yeah, I will share it by the end of the session. I've asked the team to share it with you. If Python is there, a system Anaconda installation giving error. If Python is there, system Anaconda is giving an error. No, it should not. I also have Python on my system, but it doesn't give me an error. You can try to look for it. Maybe you can try to share the screenshot with me, then maybe I can help. Okay, so if I want to do some sort of operation on this, maybe I want to divide my age into 3 parts. So what do I have to do? Do I have to do again some assignments? Yes, I can do the assignments, but let's say I just want to see that if I divide my age with some numbers, what is the value I'm going to get? So I can do that same operation in the print function of Python. So it will give me a value if I run it. So what I'll do first of all, not to, I'll clear all the outputs. Yeah, I'll clear all the outputs. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, now if I divide it, I get this value. Now let's say if I want to change my value of age after a year. After a year, I'm getting older, so obviously I want to do some sort of, I want to write a code, and with the help of which the age is going to be updated after a year. One is going to be added to that value. So if I do that, and if I do the assignment, my age plus 1 is equal to my age. If I print it, what is the value you think I'm going to get? Can you tell me what is the value I will be getting? Can anybody type it out? $12. Okay. Anyone else? 34. Okay. 34. Okay. 34. 34. 34. Okay. Okay. Dr. Vinita is saying we will be getting value 12. Okay, let's check whether we are going to get values 12 or whether we are going to get value 34. Oh, we get the value as 34. So why we haven't got the value as 12? Because we haven't done any assignment in this case. We were just checking the values. When we divide my age, the variable, when we divide that variable by 3, we were just checking what is the value we could get. But we haven't done any assignment. If we have done it in this way, that my age is equals to My age divided by 3. If I do that, my age is not defined. Okay. Yeah. See, this is the error you get if you make any sort of typing error. Yes, I know, believe so, I know. I'm just giving an example. If we do any sort of typing error in Python, it will give us different sort of errors. So we just need to make sure every time when we are doing any assignment, capital A and lowercase and uppercase a, they are going to be different. So we need to keep this thing in our mind. So now let's check. Now what will be the value after this? Can anybody tell me if I update the value of my age and if I do +1, what will be the value I'll be getting after this operation? Yeah, exactly. That's right. But why we are getting 12.0? Why we are not getting only 12 or 11? No, Preeti, no. I think you're not focusing on the slides. You're not focusing. If anybody is using any sort of other work, please leave it and please focus on these notebooks that I'm trying to explain here. Yeah, because my age, I have done assignment here. I've assigned the value of my age and divided that value with 3. So it was, now if I print here again my age, if I print, so this is the value I'm going to get. Yes. Right. Absolutely. But in Python, what we call 33 and what we call 11. So yeah, we'll look at that later on maybe. Let's leave it for now. I have a challenge for you all. You all need to do it. It's very simple. I guess everybody is able to do it, because that's what I thought. So I have a challenge. Let's look at this challenge. So you have to create a variable called restaurant bill, and if it is the challenge is for someone if they have installed Anaconda. If they haven't, what they can do, they can again go to tryjupyter.org and they can do it from there. If you want, I can share the link with you for that. Yeah, Google Collab would work. I mean, this is not the right link. Let me send it again. Yeah, Google Collab will work. But in case when we want to upload a file, that's going to be some issue we might face, because that's different for Jupyter, for Collab. Okay, so what is the challenge? So what you have to do, you have to create a variable called restaurant bill, and you have to set its value to 36.17, and you have to create a variable called service charge and set its value to be 0.15, and then you have to print out the amount of tip that you will be giving. How to install Jupyter Notebook? I'm not able to use. Sir, what you can do, sir, you can use tryjupyter.org if you're not able to install it. There might be some system discrepancy or independent variable that we have to do. But what you can do, sir, you can use tryjupyter.org, or what you can do, you can use Google Collab as well. So I'll try to show you Google Collab as well. If somebody is not familiar with Google Collab, you can also use Google Collab. What you need to do, you need to type on Google as Google Collab, or I'll also share the link with you all. So okay, yeah, I'll repeat the question. So what you can do, you can just click on new notebook and it will open new notebook in front of you. It's just like Jupyter with a few changes. Yes, yeah, I'll repeat the question. First of all, you need to connect, and then you can do any operation that you want. Let's say I want to assign my age to be 24, and I want to print my age. What is the value of age? So it will get connected and then it will work. Okay. So it's just like the same. And to run the code, I guess everybody remember you have to press the shift plus enter key. Shift plus enter, or you can just click on this play button. Okay. The question was, you have to create a variable called restaurant bill. This is the name of a variable. I'll drop down this question in the comment section so that everybody can read it. Yeah. So you have to create a variable called restaurant bill, and you have to set its value to 36.17, and you have to create a variable called service charge and set its value to be 0.15, 0.125. So you have to print the amount of tip. Please type out your answers. Not 10%, it's 12.5%, Vidyuti. Please everybody do it, because I want an interactive session. If somebody is facing any difficulty, please let me know. Okay, yeah, I'll answer that, whether it's the right one or not. I need to see everyone's answer. Please type everyone, only then I'll continue. If you don't know the answer, that's okay. Unable to open Jupyter. Ma'am, I told you, you can use Google Collab, you can use tryjupyter.org. You can type, you can search for Google Collab on Google. You can try Jupyter.org. Type on Google Jupyter notebook. Type on Google Jupyter notebook. It will take you to this website, ma'am. Yeah, what is the answer, Ashish? Can you give me the answer? I I think you didn't get the question, Ashish. The question was, you need to print out the amount of tip. Okay, ma'am, you can use Jupyter Notebook. Type on Google Jupyter Notebook. It will take you to this website. Then you will click on try it in your browser. Then you can click on try classic notebook. I need to see everyone's response first of all. Please, everyone, if you are facing any difficulties, please let me know. That's the only way I can help you. You can use this, ma'am. If somebody is facing any difficulty, you can use Collab, you can use Jupyter Online. There are different tools that you can use. Tools are never a problem. Okay, so I guess nobody is really interested to answer this question. Okay, let me show you what could be the answer, how we are going to solve this question. First of all, we'll be assigning the restaurant bill to a variable. Okay, then what we'll be doing, we'll be assigning the service charge to another variable. Then we'll be just printing out the value, that what will be the tip. So the tip is 4.5, and Vidyuti, you are absolutely right. Claps for you. Now let's see. I was talking about this thing, that why there is a difference. Can somebody tell me that is there any difference between 33 and 11.9 if I talk about types? in Python? Do they have a different type, a variable type? If I assign a variable with the 33, okay, and if I assign b variable with the 33.0, so do they gonna have a same type or do they gonna have a different types, variable type? Because I guess this is a variable assignment. 4.5, 4.5. Okay, I haven't seen your chat, so sorry for that. Int, okay, okay, int, float, different. Yeah, obviously they are different. Float, different type. A is integer and okay, A is integer. Yeah, A is integer. What about B? B is float. Okay. Anybody else would like to add something? B is double. What does that mean, double? What does that mean, Sushil? B is double. B is natural number. Okay. B is double of float. Okay, float. Okay. Floating number. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Both are numeric. Obviously, they are numeric, but there must be some difference. They are numeric. That's for sure. I mean, okay. Let's try to look at them. Okay, let's try to look at them up here only, where I had typed them. Yeah, up here. Let's add this one. Okay, let's try to. So how can we check? Both are numeric. Yeah, they are numeric for sure. But in numeric, we have two types in Python. If I talk about the variable in Python, we have two types. So let's check the type, which type they belongs to. Let's check the type for A. What is the type? So it's giving me int. So int, what does int means? Everybody is aware. Int means integer, I guess. Correct. Let's check the type for B. Float. So all of you, I mean, most of you were right. The type of B was float. Now let's say if I give a name to somebody. Okay, let's say I give a name. So how does we do the name assignment in Python? We do it in this way. We use single quotes or we use double quotes. Okay. I'm not getting response on Jupyter. You need to press shift plus. What is the window that you are getting? Are you getting some error? Some black window? Is it showing you busy or something? Then you can try Collab, ma'am. Try Google Collab. Search on Google Collab. You can try Google Collab. Google Collab. You can try that out. It'll work up and fine. This is the link that you can go to. What key I have to press to get result? Shift plus enter. Or what you can do, on the top of it, you will see there is a run option. You can run it. You can run the code by clicking on the run. What keys I told you, ma'am? Okay, cool. Now what I was saying is that if I want to assign a name to a variable, how would I do that? I can do it with the help of single quotes. Let's say I'm assigning a name, which is my name, obviously. So my name, I'm assigning my name to be Nandesh. Okay. Now let's say if I'm assigning my name again with the my name underscore one, and I'm assigning with the help of double quotes, and I'm saying this to be Nandesh. So if I'm going to check the type, first of all, is it going to be same for both of them? Name and name underscore one, is it going to be same or is it going to be different? Yes, it's going to be a string, but is it going to be same or different? Same. Exactly, it's going to be same, because I told you that in Python you can do the string assignment in two ways, by using single quotes and by using double quotes. So it is also, let's check the type for. So type is a function that we use in Python to check a type of any variable that we have. So it's also string. Okay, cool. Now let's move. Now we have covered, so far we have covered integer, we have covered float, we have covered string. What are strings? So everybody is clear with this? If anybody have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm moving forward. Now, let's say these are the data type. Basically, a text, we have a number, some sort of number we have, which is an integer. We have a number which has a value to be 3.14, which is a float. These are the data types that we have in Python. Now, let's look at collection. So what does collection means basically? Collection means something in Python where we want to store different data types into single variable. Now let's look at this case. Let's look at this case. Let's say if I want to store first prime numbers, first prime number, second prime number, third prime number. So I have to do a variable assignment as first of all first prime number, second prime number, third prime number. But if I want to store them together, how would I do that? I would do it with the help of a list. So list is a type of collection that we have in Python. No, not array. Yeah, you can also do that with array. I'll talk about the array in later on maybe. Yeah, it's a array. In Python we call it array. So what is the array? I'm sorry. It's list. It's called list in Python basically. So if I go and check the type, not getting the result even after clicking on run. Did you try Google Collab? Try Google Collab. You will definitely get answers. So please try Google Collab. Connectivity issue. Yeah, it could be. It could be. A network problem could be the network problem, I guess. So why we have a list type in Python? The reason why we have a list type in Python so that we can store different variable at a single location. We can save some sort of memory, or we can save some sort of location also. You don't have to type it again and again. Now let's say we want to store the name of student. Let's say I want to store the name of student 1. I'm storing in this way, student 1 as, let's say it to be that I can see the name here. Let's say it to be Vinita. Now let's say I want to store the second student. Second student could be, let's say it's Suresh. I'm just typing in the name randomly that I'm seeing on my window. Let's say I want to store not students, I mean student. Yeah, I'm correcting it, but that doesn't matter anyway. Okay, what is this guy name? Okay, let me check. Now this is going to be convenient, or if I do it this way? Now okay, this is one way of storing student information. Now let's say I want to store their roll number as well. Now what I have to do, I have to say maybe roll number 1. For Vinita I assigned maybe a roll number 15. Let's say I am assigning a roll number for the second student, maybe I am assigning it to be 2, and it could be like something maybe 16. Let's keep it in order. Let's say I'm assigning the number 3. It could be 17. So is there a way that we can do it in a, more easy? Is there an easy way to do it? Yes, definitely there is a easy way to do it. What we can do, we can create a list, student underscore roll. Okay, let's say I have created this list. So list is going to be created by using these parentheses, square brackets. So if I want, first of all, what I will do, I will store the name of a person, then I will store their roll number. Okay. So we need to make sure we are putting commas. So which is the easy way? What do you think? Which is the easy way? This the first one or the second one? Which will save your time and which will save your memory? Exactly. So that's why we have list here. So in list, what we can do, we can store different data types. We can store number, we can store integer, we can store float, we can store string. The three data type that we have studied till now, that is integer, float, and string. Can you create a list of student as well? Yeah, of course we can also do that. That's not a problem. I mean, if I can do it. So let's check the, first of all, let's check the type, so that you might be saying that how can we trust whether he's saying right or not. Let's check the type. Let's Python decide that what is the type. Okay, yeah, I was right actually. So yes, the type is list basically. Now somebody's saying, can we store only student in a list? So we can create a list with the name of students, or what we can do, I can store simple names that are Ram, or maybe Sam, maybe Raman. That's what coming in my head. So if I go and also check the type of the students, what is going to be the type? Students, they will have a type as list. Same data type will be there in list. Yes, you could have numbers, all numbers in a list. You could have integer, all integer in a list. You could have all floats in a list. You could have all strings in a list. So that's never a problem with string. So as you can see, here I have done the same thing. I have created a list which is cool people. I have stored some of the people name, and then I have created a prime and people. I have used prime numbers and I have added people in the list. So it is going to give me list only. Now let's say I have created this list, right? Now let's say I want to access the second element, or let's go to this one first. No, let's go to this one first. This one is easy. So let's say if I want to access the second element, which is Sham, how would I do that? Can somebody tell me how can I access Sham from this list? If I only want to print out Sham, can I do that? Is it even possible or is it not? Can somebody tell me, please? Yes. So how can we do that? Del? No, it's not possible. Okay. Okay. Any other response? Using comma, and can you type the code? Can you type the code in the chat window so that I can see it and I can try it out in front of you? Okay. Print student. Okay, let me try this code, Dr. Vinita. Let me try it. Let's see if it works. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure. I haven't tried this. Oh, we are getting error. Somebody else wants to try. Okay. Give me the code that I can use. What is var name? Index number. Okay. So var name could be like students. So what should I type in the index? Prabjot, can you tell me what should I type in the index number if I want to access Sham? Should I type 2? Okay, I'll type 1. Okay, let's see. I'll type 1. But why isn't it on the second location? Sham? Why this thing is happening, you know? Can somebody tell me why we are having this problem? Right. Okay. Indexing. Okay, everybody is already, you know, genius in this group. Okay, so in list basically, or in Python, or in most of the cases, what happens basically is that the indexing, it starts from 0. So it's 0th element, it's first element, it's second element. So if I try, so can somebody tell me, if I try to print 3, what will happen if I try to print 3? If I try to print 3, what will happen? Object not found. Okay, somebody else want to give it a try. What will happen if I try to print the element which is on the third index? Error, outbound, index out of range. Cool. So you all are genius, you know, already know a lot of stuff. So this indexing, so can I do one thing now? Can I assign Sham's value or Raman's value to a different variable? Can I do that? Is it even possible? Let's say I have a list of students, all the student of a class, and I want to pick that student who came first in the class, and I want to store his values in a different list, which is a toppers list. So let's say I have a class student list, and I have few students in this list, maybe Rama, or maybe Lakshman. These are the name coming on my head because due to Ramayana, everybody is watching, I guess. So Rama, Lakshman, can somebody suggest me some name? Okay, let's write this. Preeti. Okay, Preeti we can write. Yeah, Pankaj we can write. Thank you, Pankaj. Let's say, what should we write? Let's say we write Suresh. Okay, so these are the students of my class. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to create a list which is of topper. So I usually what happens, we have 2 or 3 toppers in the class, but as we have a small list, let's say we want to store only 2 toppers, the rank 1 and the rank 2. So how do we do that? Is it even possible? That can we do it? Is there a way that we can do it? Okay, how can we do it? Please help me out. Please type out the code. Please type out the code. Okay, let's first of all see, let's understand, let's see who came first. So according to me, Pankaj came first. Okay, so I want to store the value of Pankaj in a list, in this list, in new list. So we can initialize. No, we have not reached to array yet. We are only talking about list only. Store topper list. Append. Okay, that's the function. Okay, but I want to use my list only. Can you write code, Jaideep? Can you write code? Okay, student topper. Okay, the code was something like this. Let me see. Let's copy this code. Let's try this out if it works. Oh, we are getting error. Somebody gave me this code, Dr. Vinita, I guess. I'm getting error. Why I'm getting error? I want to store the value of Pankaj. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the error? Class students not defined. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my bad. I'm so sorry. Okay. Now let's print the value of topper. Oh, but no, it has stored Suresh. I want Pankaj. Pankaj is the topper, not Suresh. Okay. What we can do, max. No, let's not talk about the functions for now. Let's talk about the things that we have discussed for now. Instead of 3, okay. Instead of 4, we can type 3, okay. Oh, yes, we did it. So congratulations to you, Vanita, you did it well. So this is the way, this is the one way that we can do it. We can store the values from a list by using indexing into a different variable. So if this variable, let's check the type of topper now, because I guess I've asked you to store the value. Let's check the type first of all, okay. But topper is a string. I said I want to store the value of topper in the form of another list. So how do we do it? I mean, is it even possible? I want to store the value of topper of Pankaj in a different list. I want the type to be list. Is it possible? Can we do that? Can somebody please help me out? Okay, I said when we store the code that you gave, Dr. Vinita, to me, it is storing the value of topper. That's right, but we want that value to be in the form of list. Okay, enclosing topper in like this you are talking about. This is the way. This is how I do it. Okay, yeah. So that's the way that we can do it. I mean, and also, yeah, it's done. So I guess everybody got what I did, right? Let me send the code. Somebody missed on something. So everybody understood this thing, right? Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did, Prabjot, you can see. Right. That is what I did. Okay. Now that we have looked into list, now let's how can we use a list in this way also? We can store different your screen is playing very slowly at my side, sir. Internet problem, Prabjot. You've got an internet issue on your side. You have to fix that. Okay, so what we can do, we can store different values of eggs. I have different color, I have eggs of different colors, you know, of different textures. So I can store the values of eggs in different in a list. So this way I do it. I have a list of eggs, and so where is my egg? Let's say my egg is this. So how do I get this egg? If this is my egg, I want to access to this egg. How can I do that? Can somebody tell me? It's a refresher again, and it's very obvious. This one, this is my egg, and 2, 0, 1, 2. So this is how the indexing starts, from 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So, sir, please share the slide. I missed few parts due to network issue. In slide, nothing is covered. I mean, I'm just explaining things on the slide. Most of the things are on the notebook. So I will share the notebook with you. Okay. Yeah, so I think everybody is following, I guess. So now what is the difference? Now somebody was talking about list, and somebody said about array, few things about array. So basically a list is like a ballerina. It is very flexible, it's very adaptable. It can, it has a flexible body, it can do stretching very well. So what does that mean? That means it can store different data types. It can store integer, it can store float, it can store also, it can store string also. But when we talk about array, so arrays are like a bodybuilder, and bodybuilders, they are quite tough. They don't like new things, they don't like to try out new things, they like to follow their old schedule. So that's what the array is. You can only store one type of data in an array. Maybe you can store a numbers, maybe you can store strings. Okay, now let's see, do I have okay, now let's move to the next type, which is, so before we go further to any other type. Now, have we seen array before? Let's try to look. Have we seen array before when we were dealing with, or have we, the thing that we have understood here? Can we go back and check? Have we seen any string, any numbers in the previous work that we did? So, what is the type of this thing? Can somebody tell me what is the type? What would be the type if I check the type of this thing only? What is the type? It is a string, as you can see with the color. When we write a string, it gives the color to it. So it's a string. Okay. Now this is also a variable. Data is also a type of variable. What type of variable is it? We'll talk about this. We'll look into that. Now let's see if we have seen array before. Yes, we have seen array. So this is the array that we have. Now let's see, I only want to access, I don't want the array option to be there, right? I just want only the, let's see what I can do about that. Let's see. Okay, so regression dot coefficient. Okay, and if I type 0, okay, name regression coefficient is not defined. Let me run it. Again, I have to run all these. It's running. Wait. It's taking a little longer. Please wait, everybody. Let me run it one by one. It's not running. Okay, yeah, it's running now. Now, what I was saying is that if I want to get the value, this is the array, the coefficient, the regression coefficient is stored in the form of, in the data type, which is array, right? So if I want to get the value of coefficient only, so how do I do that? This is the way that I can do it. If I type 1, I will obviously get an error. If I type 0, then I might get it this way. There is some, So basically, why do we have array and why do we have list in Python? Because they are almost the same. The reason why we have array in Python is because we use array for scientific calculation. For doing any sort of calculation, for doing that, we need array. So that is why we have array data type, because they can only store numbers at a time and they're not that flexible. You cannot mess around with them. So that is why we have array. Okay, now I have a, now let's say I have a question for you all. If I guess, if let's see if somebody is able to answer this, keeping in this thing in your mind about array. So why did a programmer quit his job? Why did the programmer quit his job? If I talk about scientific calculation, so that is the reason we use them array. Not list. So can somebody tell me why a programmer quit his job? I think everybody's sleeping. Hello? Okay. Okay, so I'll tell you why he's quit. I'll tell you why he quit his job. Because he didn't get a raise. That was the reason. He didn't get a raise. Okay, so with this note, we'll take a break, and then when we'll come back, then we'll talk about a different data type. Thank you. I just try to make you guys laugh.